Welcome to the Pattern Queen Special Extra. My name is Laura, and I'm flying solo today for my cross-stitch update. Normally I would be filming with Keisha, but she just wasn't available today, so I thought I'd take advantage of the time to show you how my January ended and what I'll be working on in February. So if you have been here before, welcome back, and thank you for coming and joining me. If you haven't been here before, I am a crazy lady with 181 WIPs who is trying to touch every single one of them throughout the year. So I've divided them into groups by month, and that's what I'll work on during the month. So in January, I had 21 projects that I worked on. And if I get to one more, I'll have my 22nd. My first one that I'm going to show you was my 25/7, which is Christmas Garden by Blackbird Designs. And on Thursday this week, I finished. So this is my first finish for 2022. I am really happy with this. This is on 32 count parchment linen using the called for flosses. I just love it. I've been working on it. It wasn't very far along, and I picked it up on November 2nd and made it my 25/7. And so it took me a good almost 2 months to finish it up. And in the last 2 weeks, I've put in almost 5,000 stitches. My friend Connie is doing 2022 every stitches on a project every week, and I thought I could do that. So that's what I went with. The next one that I worked on is from my 22 starts for 2022. And the first one is Rabbit Rabbit January from Ink Circles. I'm doing this on 40 count shrinking violet from Graham Cracker Fabrics. And I'm just using flosses that I have on hand. Last night I managed to get all the little bunnies finished up. For the most part, I'm trying to get 500 stitches on each of these on the day that I work on them. And if I need to, I'll come back. These three that I'm showing you here in a row are ones that were my 22 for 22. So they'd already had a tiny little half-hour start. And then I decided to add another 500 stitches. My next one is Quake Pin Chicken with pins, I think is what it said. Chicken Pin Cushion. And I'm doing this on a 28 count pink Parisian stripe by Fabric Flare. And this is what it looks like so far. Now, if you've been here, you know that when I do the alphabet on anything, I change the letters J, K, L, and B to represent my family. But I'm using this overdyed floss, so what I think I'm going to do is go and see if I can find this purple and put in our initials in that purple. And I may use that in a couple other spots just to balance out, but we'll see. Maybe the chickens will be purple. And then next up, you're going to see a whole bunch of book sleeves and project bags, but I have a lot to show you, so I'm not going to stop and show you what everything is in. Next up is Indigo Bunny by Marjorie Massey. And I am using 28 count opal linen and the 3 DMCs that she called for. So far I've only used one. That is the full width of the project, and I have started working on the corner. I think it's going to be really pretty on this, just very clean and simple. So the next one I have is United We Stand from Teresa Kogut. I've shown you this one before, but I did get to work on it a little bit more, so I thought I would just pull it back out and show you how far I've gotten. That's what it looks like so far. I'm really enjoying stitching on this, and I actually used this one as a 2022 stitches in 1 week. That's why it moved along so fast. And I'm using some of the called for and then some sulky threads because I wanted things to be a little more red and blue than what they were showing up. Then one of my WIP Go pulls was stitch on a Halloween piece, and the Sunshine Stitchers along with Carolyn Czook Stitch and Candy the 614 Stitcher came up with a list of designers to focus on for the month. And for January, it was Nora Corbett, Mirabilia, or Pretty Ladies. So I've been working on Halloween Fairy. This is just my working copy. And I am stitching on this 36 count linen from Silk Weaver that's just a solo die. And that's how far I got on her. I worked on her skirt, and I put in the dark part below where it's going to say trick or treat, and everything from there down. I put in her boots this time. And I have a poll up on my Instagram, but also you could comment here. There are pumpkins down here. And obviously orange will not show. So I'm thinking either I could do them in like a teal, aqua, blue, or I could do an ivory or cream. So what do you think I should have? Katie Landis said it should be one of each. I'm going to catch a quick drink. So I may play with that too. But it was fun to pull this out. This is one that I struggle with sometimes, so it was a good excuse to pull it out and get some stitches in. You're going to hear zippers and things for sure. My other WIP Go call for the month was Keisha's Choice. And this bag always means Blackberry House by Plum Street Samplers. I am in different lighting today, so it's interesting. And this one, I can never remember what the name of my fabric is. If Keisha were here, she would remember because she remembers everything about this. She chose this because, for one, she loves the fabric. She says this looks like smashed blackberries. And this is what everything looks like on it. And I put in the gray up here around the urn. So I went all the way around the outside and started filling in on the other side. The first part of it. And my goal on WIP Go is to put in 500 stitches. So I went a little over that, but not by a lot. Then, because I finished my 25/7, I had to pull out another one. If you've been here, you already know what it will be. It's Our House by the Good Housewife. And this was my focus project in November. And I got so far that I decided I just need to make it my 25/7. So I just have the little, I would think that's like, it's a little secondary house or a root cellar, and the big tree and the stem up to the flower. So it shouldn't take really long. It depends on how many stitches I get in my 25 minutes. I do 25 minutes rather than 25 stitches. Unless I get really motivated, and then I put in 2,000 each week. Okay, so that takes me through January. So then I have a group of projects that I will be working on in February. And this is just a kind of a fun collection. Numbers have been called for WIP Go, and one of mine is Stitch on the project, the monthly project closest to a finish. I have a couple in here, and I have to figure out what I think is going to be the closest as far as getting this done goes. So my first one is Amethyst Collection Needle Book and Scissor Fob by Cherish Stitches. This was given to me by a friend a long time ago. Came with these beautiful scissors. You see the rainbow scissors. And I just pulled flosses to do. Well, I have half of the needle book finished, so it wouldn't take me that much to do it. And then their scissor fob is like this, but it's stitched with a square around it. So I may make a tiny biscornu and finish it up that way. So that is one possibility for the closest to a finish. And I think 500 stitches would probably finish the needle book, and I would be on to the scissor fob at that point. Then next up is a freebie from the Black Needle Society. This is Katie's very first one. It's one she did for the Be Well and Stitch, and it is Honey Bunny. My colors will look a little different. I have a piece of fabric. This one's in like one of my very favorites. I have a piece of fabric that Katie bought me for my birthday one year. The company's not dying anymore. It was Enchanted Fabrics, and I do not have a very big start on it. But I would like to see some progress with it this month. Next up is one that I pulled out in November. The group voted that this is what I should do. So it's Hummingbead Heaven by Just Nan. And I am stitching this one just on a piece of, I was trying to see if it said it right here. I'm doing something different than, let's look inside. I'm using 28 count platinum cashel, which is what it called for. And I am this far. I worked on that goose row up there when we were at retreat. And probably I will finish that out and maybe move on to what's right above it during this month. I think I'll do the same thing again where I let my family members pull a project for me for the day. That was kind of fun. Then this one is another one that I think could be close to a finish if I can just figure out what I've done. It's Quake Pin Cushions by Jeanette Douglas Designs, and I am doing this one. But mine is on this purple. I'm not sure. I'm losing it. There we go. I'm not sure where 500 stitches will take me, but I love this. And I just chose floss from my stash. I do have another piece of fabric in here to do a second one. And some things for it. My biggest problem has been trying to find wool to back that purple because we just keep pulling the wrong colors. Then my next one is, I'm going to have to look for the name here real quick. This one is 1890 House Sampler by Chessie and me. I got this at a retreat and it was so fun. It was the Heartland Stitch Counters Society, and it came in this little bag. So everybody at the retreat got one of these little bags with the project in it. So sweet. So there again is what it looks like. And I don't have a huge start, but I do have my border completed. And I've started in on the house. There's more there than I think there is. That's good. So far, I don't see anything that will give me pause and make me think, oh, I need to just abandon that. I did abandon one project in February. I abandoned two. I'm going to finish one band on one of the projects and then call it quits and restart it. And the other one was just such a mess that I ended up pulling everything out, and I'll restart it on something else. But my next one is Baltimore Saltbox Sampler by Brenda Gervais. And this one I have an okay little start on. Looks like this. I'm using the same fabric as Katie Landis because when she says that's what you should use, that's what you should use. So I'm going to grab a sip. I don't know how she feels about me doing mine on the same fabric as hers. Then I may have to start piling these someplace else. Next up is Forest by Satsuma Street. Mine is a PDF, that's why I'm showing it to you like this. And I do not have much of a start. It did get a little bit of extra time in this last year, but not much. So there's what I have started. And I really would like to see progress on this one. I love all my projects. That's the thing. Okay, then I love February and Valentine's Day and all of the pink things. So I do have some of those things in here. So one is The Language of Love from the Drawn Thread. This one was a real struggle for me for a long time. And then I just pushed through the border, and now I feel like it's moving along pretty well. So I have all of the green on the border finished. So I need to fill in with things like this, all of the hearts and things. And then I have the words to put through the middle. Now I'm doing this with my own conversion of Vicky Clayton silks, and I am using, this is an orphan from Picture This Plus. It's called Lauren, and it's a 28 cashel, and it was one that my family got me, and I thought, oh, I just want something special on it. This seemed perfect. Everything back in there. It might be close enough to finish up. It's one that I put as a possibility. And then this next one is the Black Pearl from Primitive Hair. This was on my WIP Go board last year, and I had slated it for a finish, and I obviously did not get there, but she's getting closer all the time. And this is on 28 count Tempest from Picture This Plus. My fabric is really getting blown out, but I've kind of changed, and I'm doing just a bunch of things that I like with it. So I just need to get her all finished up. She could be close enough for a finish this month. My next one is a long-term WIP. Excuse me. It's actually one that I sent to a round robin. It's called Morning Song by Lavender and Lace. I'm really having fun with the light. And this one got sent out a couple of times, and those ladies were awesome and did all sorts of work on this for me. It is this far. It will not be finished this month. That background is all confetti, and I'll just have to take it a little bit at a time. But maybe the mother and the baby will get some hair this month. That would be awesome. This one is on Apple Blossom linen. This is one of my very favorite pinks, and I think this is just a Witchelt fabric, but really pretty fabric. I love it. Then this next one I started last year. I don't think I started it for 12 days of stitching, but I started it right after. So it's Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais with I Needle and Thread. And mine is on a piece of 28 count opal linen, just natural linen. So there's what my border looks like so far. And I do think I have a skein of, a couple skeins of floss that I want to use for the house to make it look pinkish, because mine, when I bought it, did not look very pink. And then last February, we did a Spill the Tea event, and we had Heartstring Sampler do a Jane Austen for us. It's called Really Friends. I would bet this one will be coming out soon. And it's a big one, way bigger than what I thought. Here's something I really love. She always has an inspiration story, and she gives you photos and just tells you a little bit of background about what she was thinking when she designed. And I don't have a big start on this. Oh, yeah, not at all. But there it is. I think I started it during the event and just worked on it that day. That'll be fun to get back to that one. I used all the called for colors. And this is on 32 count tea set linen from Graham Cracker Designs, which is what was called for. Then, I love this one. My next one up, I just have my working copy, is Sampler Bouquet by Jardin Privé. And it is, I'm doing the whole thing together. So it will look like that. It's going to be massive. You'll see that because I have 36 count Sunny Lara linen from Doug and Vicky of IX Stitch, and that's how big it is. I think I have the whole thing on there. There we go. And then this is where I've been concentrating. I just wanted to, I had this on my WIP Go board for a page finish, and I got really, really close. I love the little snail down there. So I just have a little bit of fill in on the plant, I believe, and I will have the first page, the last page finished. I stitch from right to left, so I almost always start at the end of the project. And then my last one for February is the 2017 Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler. And I had it on my WIP Go board last year. I was supposed to get a month done, but I think I put it on there 3 times. That was crazy. This is what the whole thing looks like. They show it to you kind of grayed out. I don't think I'm putting this December band on there. It's not one that speaks to me like the others do, and I think the sampler will look fine without it. I'll kind of reconfirm that when I get there. Mine is being stitched on a piece of 36 count Carol's Meadow linen from Silk Weaver, and the flosses are Victorian Motto Sampler Shop. They are my own choices. A lot of them I chose before she even started naming things. But I'm really liking how this is coming out. You can see I have a pretty good start on that next band. I did manage to finish, I believe this was 1 month. So I got that band finished, but definitely did not get on and finish the next ones. I am currently on August. So pretty good. I should be able to finish up that August month. I'll probably give this a little more than 500 stitches because it's so huge. So that is it for what's on the board. Then, oh, I did not pull them out, but I will have 3 other projects. I think it's 3. 2 other projects. Piece Band Sampler from Heartstring Sampler and Stitcher's House from Stone Street Stitchworks, which I will also pull out. Those are where I took my 22 for 22 and I just split them up and divided them into each of the months also. So I have 14 that I showed you, plus I'll have those 2. And then I have a couple extra that I would like to work on. My I told you one of my calls is the monthly WIP that's closest to a finish. The other one is Katie's Choice. We also, on the hands-on design um, website, found this, which is from a class that she taught. It's a little chart pack, so it comes with the chart and the finishing materials. So then you need to get your own fabric and flosses. And so Katie and I bought or found in our stash, I can't remember which, a piece of linen that we could cut out and make work. And we bought all of the flosses to go with it. I think it'll be so pretty. And we're both anxious to start that. So it will probably get started for me during February. Another one that I have been wanting to start. I have a bunch of Madame Chantilly charts, and I just haven't been able to pull them out and start them. So I have this Roses Village, and I thought it would be a perfect Valentine's month project to work on. And I have all of the flosses. They're just so pretty, all of these lovely soft colors. There aren't as many as you might think there would be. I think they're going every which direction here. But that is what they look like. So they should be really pretty to do this little village. And I have one more sitting over here. I'm looking at it thinking, what is this? Oh, it's my snow day project. And I have it in this huge bag, and it's not a big project. So my snow day project for the year is Hibernation Day. And I did finally get it started, and I have a little bit of the bottom bands going, and then it didn't snow anymore. So I stopped. I was going to do 2022 in a week, and I came fairly close. You can see if I get really close. The white stitches at the bottom. I was editing the video and realized that this recording had abruptly cut off and I had no ending. Then Katie told me what she will be choosing for this month's WIP Go for me. So I thought I would sneak back in here and show you what I have. I'll be working on Anniversaries of the Heart. I am on the very first one, Snow Garden. And I am using 36 count ale from Picture This Plus. I have plenty of fabric for this. And I think part of the problem is that I was stitching sometimes 1/2 and sometimes 2/2. So I'm going to finish this one and see what it looks like. It's really pretty close. I have the border all the way around. I need to get the house in and the trees, the tree and the flowers, the greenery anyway. And we'll see what it looks like from there. So now that really is it. And I will get this wrapped up and edited and out to you. Keisha and I should be back this next week, and we'll have lots to show you. Bye. Have a great week.